And Dustin, now at 5. No rain yet, but it's on the way. I'll have the latest with radar and the timeline.
Plus, a cold case arrest 4 years after a gruesome double homicide. What led police to the suspect?
One of our biggest threats we face is population growth. Every city across the country is focused on gaining population.
Bringing more people to Indiana, how a program recruiting remote workers is now paying off for one town in Hamilton County.
And what do we want to see out of the Colts offense? According to Shane Steichen and QB1 Daniel Jones, hear from them as the team prepares for their season opener. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
It's now 5 o'clock, and tonight we're tracking some rain that's moving towards central Indiana. Here's a look at it right now. You can see the timeline of where it's expected to hit. This is Future Track.
Yeah, the rain's really needed across the area, but it's also bringing some big weather changes with it.
So Angela joins us now. We start in the Weather Center tonight with what we can expect, and you actually have some weather news now after rinse and repeat, and I guess it hasn't really been rinsed. Now we're going to get the rinse.
We're going to get the rinse, but it's definitely been on repeat and very easy for a forecaster here in central Indiana. It's been sunny and 70, sunny and near 80. We were back into the 80s today, but as Ann and Felicia pointed out, we do have rain on the way. We're down to 77 degrees currently in Connorsville, still 82 in Indianapolis and Bainbridge, 81 Crawfordsville, where the clouds are beginning to thicken, especially north and west of Indianapolis, and 82 degrees in Brown County. These temperatures similar to this time yesterday, but I want to point out the cooler temperatures, or that temperature drop, I should say, from Chicago to Milwaukee to Des Moines, all behind a cold front, and that's that cold front that's bringing a few showers from northern Indiana through the northern sections of Illinois back through southern Iowa. Central Indiana will be dry for the next few hours, but between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. you can see that rain arrive. It's heaviest while we're sleeping tonight and very early tomorrow morning. What's left behind? A much cooler Thursday. I'll cover all of that and a look ahead to the weekend in a few minutes.
All right, Angela, thanks so much. And you can track the rain with our interactive radar on our live Doppler 13 weather app.
You can also sign up for notifications once you download it from your app store. Developing tonight, a woman is in jail facing 2 counts of murder nearly 5 years after a double homicide on Indy's east side.
What you're looking at here, images from the scene around midnight on March 1st, 2021. This is on the east side near Post and 42nd Street. 2 young women already dead there on the scene when police arrived.
Ashton Hackman explains the role police say the woman played and how investigators linked her to the shooting.
Nearly 5 years ago on Indy's far east side, police lights lit up Postbrook Apartments around midnight March 1st. Police found 21-year-old Ashanti Robinson and 23-year-old Patrice Jones were shot nearly 10 times and already dead.
The investigation began with our homicide unit. They began collecting evidence in partnership with the Marion County Forensic Services Agency, and the investigation was eventually reassigned to our unsolved homicide unit.
25-year-old Tatija Davis is charged with 2 counts of murder for her role in the shooting. Court documents say surveillance video shows Davis driving the 2 shooters to and from the apartment complex. Davis, however, isn't accused of killing the 2 women. Davis claims the man and woman who fired off the shots forced her to drive them to and from the shooting.
We have 2 families that were ripped apart by these homicides, and they're still grieving with this. They'll still be putting the pieces together with the tragedy that occurred and where they lost their loved one.
IMPD hands cases over to the cold case unit when a detective is reassigned or when investigators need a fresh set of eyes on the case. Court documents say detectives got new evidence and doubled down on what they already knew.
We were able to look through forensic evidence, both physical forensic evidence and digital forensic evidence, and get a new set of eyes. That detective can go through and listen to past interviews and have new witness interviews as well.
New witness interviews and new evidence, landing 1 arrest and potentially more in a 2021 Indianapolis double homicide.
As with all murder cases in Indiana, Davis will stay in the Marion County Jail until her trial. She's expected to make her first court appearance Thursday morning. Reporting in Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
And Metro Police tell us Davis is the only one charged in the case right now and could not comment more on the investigation. If convicted, Davis faces a maximum 65-year prison sentence for each murder charge.
Tonight, Metro Police are also investigating 3 shootings that have 6 victims that occurred within a span of 5 hours.
1 person died and 5 others were hurt in the violence across Indianapolis. And we now know the name of the 25-year-old man who died. The Marion County coroner identified him as Isaac Duncan. Someone shot and killed him just before 10 o'clock. And it happened a couple blocks north of Crispus Attucks High School. Investigators have not released any other information about what happened.
3 men now are in critical condition after a shooting just a few minutes later. That happened near North Sherman Drive and East 34th around 10 last night. Witnesses tell police 3 suspects were shooting while running there. Officers at this hour are still looking for them.
And a 20-year-old man and woman are recovering from a shooting on the Far East Side overnight. It happened near 10th and Mithofer. That's just east of the Washington Square Mall. Metro Police believe they were targeted but have not released any suspect information.
Metro Police are also still trying to figure out how an SUV ended up in the water on the near northwest side of Indy.
So they found the SUV near West 25th and Clifton Streets just before 3 o'clock this afternoon. Officers telling us no one was inside. They are now trying to figure out if it was stolen and ditched in the water. Also tonight, Metro Police investigating a crash which put several people in the hospital. This happened about 2 hours ago at Madison Avenue and Terrace Ave. That's near the Bates-Hendricks area. Officers tell us a man is now hospitalized in critical condition. A woman is in the hospital as well, but they did not provide her condition except to say she's stable. The driver of the car suffered minor injuries. Officers have not said what caused the crash.
Today, Indiana Governor Mike Braun says he has had it with rising utility costs, and he wants to see what can be done to lower them. Today, he says along that line, he is directing Indiana's Utility Consumer Counselor Office to evaluate utility company profits and find some cost-saving measures. Over the summer, the Citizens Action Coalition published a report that showed record utility rate increases 2 years in a row. And the jump this year of 17.5% was the biggest jump in 20 years.
Right now, there's a nationwide program paying remote workers to move to Indiana.
And we first told you about the Make My Move program 4 years ago, and now officials in Noblesville say it is working. Here's Sam Johnson.
So far, about 250 people have moved to Noblesville thanks to this program. Mayor Chris Jensen tells me they don't want them just working remotely at home. This is about the city and about the future, dishing out some cash up front to get people here and then building community afterwards.
We have been able to spend a little less than $1 million to attract 250 new residents to our community, and those 250 new residents will contribute over $40 million over 5 years to our community.
The Flies are originally from Fort Wayne and used Make My Move to come to Noblesville from Huntsville, Alabama last year. Now they're closer to home. A moving stipend and event tickets help convince them to come, all made possible because Dad, Colby, works remotely.
I would say it sounds like something that maybe like too good to be true, and you're like, really? But this is one of those things that's pretty good.
According to the Make My Move website, there are 55 places in Indiana, each with thousands of dollars in incentives. Noblesville is just one of them.
And again, I laugh. I'm obsessed with this place, but I know that other people might not even ever heard of it, and that's okay. Once they're here, they're here to stay.
In Hamilton County, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
The mayor says the money to make this program possible is matched by the state, and that takes some of the burden off of the local communities. Samantha will dig deeper into how all of this comes together as our coverage continues here tonight, later on 13 News at 6 o'clock.
So interesting.
Yeah, I met a family that came here, and they came from the East Coast. He works for the military, and their family's in Chicago, and she has now started a business, and she's thriving. And I was able to go to her business launch a couple weeks ago, a year after their move.
Yeah.
And they love Indiana.
Finding home here.
Yes, I love it.
All right, this is interesting too because it didn't take long for IndyCar driver Will Power to find a new ride.
Yes, you might remember it was just at this time last night here at 5 that we told you that Will Power was out at Team Penske. Well, now the 2018 Indy 500 champ's got a new home, and it's with Team Andretti.
There you go.
Yes, Will Power is replacing Colton Herta for the next season.
So that's because Herta is going to F1. He'll now transition from IndyCar to the Global Series after he was named the test driver for the new Cadillac Formula One team. He's also the first American driver to join the team, so represent us well.
So from racing now to football. We are just 4 days away from seeing the Colts take to the field at home at Lucas Oil Stadium.
And they'll be taking on the Miami Dolphins Sunday at 1 o'clock to kick off the season. Eli Gain joins us now about the expectations that we should probably have, especially on offense. I feel like we should be doing something as fans, like not washing our lucky socks right now, or everyone start wearing your blue.
Stuff.
Yeah,
Praying.
I mean, what? Whatever you could do.
The biggest thing is, and I know it's going to be probably very difficult, is patience.
Yeah.
Has to be a key thing throughout not only week one, but probably the first month of the season. Tough to battle with, but there are some growing pains with every franchise in these early weeks, especially when there's a new quarterback. Daniel Jones, of course, leading the Colts offensively. He spent the last 2 weeks working with the first teamers, and now he gets to go out there and sort of revitalize his career, but he's not focused on that. It's about the exciting opportunity to get on the field and compete with his teammates. Now, in terms of what Shane Steichen wants to see from Jones, consistency and control.
I'm excited for his opportunity. Stay steady, find completions, keep us on track. You know what I mean? And at that position, that's what it is. It's finding completions, moving the football, and not making bad plays worse. And I talk about the operation, feel very confident in his operation at the line of scrimmage, getting us in and out of the right plays. And I know the team feels confident in that as well.
Generating positive plays, keeping the offense moving forward, sustaining drives. I think all those things. Obviously, you want to be ready when the shot's there, and when you have the big play, take advantage of it. But understand when it's not. Not holding the ball, getting it out, and letting guys catch and run when we have those chances too.
So the Colts facing a high-octane offense in Miami. They prove that when they are healthy, and they are heading into Sunday with a chance to get some of their explosive playmakers back onto the field. Now, how about this opportunity? With a victory on Sunday, the Colts have a chance to erase about a dozen-year-long drought. I'll have more on that coming up at 6.
About a dozen-year drought. That never sounds good.
It's not very good at all. Yeah,
So
it's bad
weird.
stuff. Yes.
And that's a tease. All right, Eli, we'll check back with you in a little bit. In the meantime, the NFL has a big day tomorrow.
The season opens with some Thursday night football right here on Channel 13.
And that's why you saw on the Today Show the NFL Commissioner, Roger Goodell, stopping by to have a conversation with Savannah and Craig. And they took the opportunity to ask him several questions, including the league's 7 international games. And that, by the way, does include one that includes the Indianapolis Colts.
And they wanted to know if we will ever see an international franchise in the league.
We hope to get the 16 regular season games that we can play over the season. That obviously would be easier with an 18-2 season also. But the reality is I think a team could be supported in London. I think a team could be supported in Germany. I think the reality is we need to try to find the way to do it competitively, fairly for everybody.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Different kind of football overseas. Well, we were talking about the game for the Colts, the international game. You want to go overseas and cheer for them? You can do it. November 9th. It's in Berlin. Are you intrigued by that?
Yes, I'm just thinking if they have a league over there, which we're not there yet, but I'm just thinking about all the flights. A lot of flights. A lot of flying.
Right.
Yeah, but you're mentioning just one game specifically.
Yeah. These are kind of exhibition games to try to see what would be the interest of the fan interest in football there, and if there'd be enough to kind of create a league there. The team, of course, as Eli mentioned, does open the season at home this Sunday. The kickoff is at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, we've got more info on our website. Angela?
Felicia, it is a warm afternoon. Temperatures in the 80s, but it's going to be a cooler day tomorrow after the rain. I'm covering both in your forecast.
Plus, keeping students safe, the money just allocated for school safety across Indiana.
We look at how it's being spent ahead at 5:30. But first, here at 5.
I have never been more scared in my life than I was that first time that he hurt me.
They claim to be survivors of abuse by Jeffrey Epstein.
Why they're on Capitol Hill insisting their story should not be silenced.